what you're gonna say. I can't believe what you're alluding to, Max. Let it out. Let it out. What are you trying to say?
He is going. This is my hot take. You just calm down. He is a great fighter. A good big man doesn't beat a great little man. It takes something more than a good big man to do that, and Lopez is more than just good.
Punches are not made, they are born. And this guy, Lopez, was born to punch. And he's got one other thing going for him, Steven and Max. He reminds me of Pacquiao, Lopez, in a way, not just with power in either hand, but his closing step, his ability to explode. You know, kind of like an athlete in football, basketball, any of those sports where it's not about running a 40, it's about the quickness. It's about the closing step, the burst. He's got that burst. Not everybody's got that burst.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman clash over Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Debating skill, power, and overall resume's opinions sharply divide.
January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the Styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt. Or is it a Jerry?
Stephen A. Smith praised Teofimo Lopez's defensive quickness, highlighting his sharp reflexes and ability to slip punches in tight exchanges.
Show the world that at 23 years of age, I'm a champion, and you're going to have to come take this from me. I'm not giving you a damn thing. I loved his quickness. We know about Lopez's power, but I'm talking about his quickness defensively. But I saw Lopez being elusive, and I love that because it's one thing for you to have the power and the quickness to go along with the power offensively. A lot of guys can look good until they get hit. There were times where he got hit, and there were other times where
Smith repeatedly points to Lopez's history of rising to the occasion on the sport's biggest stages. He emphasizes that Teofimo is never intimidated by elite competition, citing his dominant victory over Vasily Lomachenko as proof.
Is exceptional. It's practically unrivaled. So you could see what he's done to numerous fighters, which contributed to them quitting, like Nicholas Walters and others. He tried that with Lopez. It didn't work. Lopez's footwork worked. His speed was there. Some power, obviously, but his elusivity is what impressed me most. The fact that he was able to slip a number, not all, but a number of those
Lomachenko.
pitches.
He wouldn't let Lomachenko establish his outside foot.
And I loved it.
Yeah, for me, coming into this fight, obviously I always talk to Max about fighting. I love it. I was thinking, and Lopez mentioned it pre-fight, everybody thought it was going to be very Mayweather-Canelo when they fought, and that he would be outclassed. If you look at the first 6 rounds, it was about patience. He was patient. He didn't rush himself. He used his jab, which is something that we are.
Teddy Atlas joined Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman in the debate, arguing that Teofimo Lopez's biggest challenge is facing an elite pound-for-pound technician. Atlas stressed that athleticism alone will not be enough against Shakur Stevenson's fundamentals.
Lopez this upcoming weekend.
What challenge? The challenge of fighting for me, my estimation, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Either him or Crawford. You choose it doesn't matter. You could flip-flop either one of them. They're the 2 top guys. The challenge is to get his bomb to the target. Yeah, like Customano, my mentor, used to say, Teddy, having power is great, but if you don't have a means to get it to the target, it has no value. It's like a military weapon, he used to say. If you don't have a missile, it just blows up and makes a big hole in the ground. So that's the challenge. Get it to the target. Get it to the chin or the body, which might be a good idea with a guy who moves his head so much, but get it to the target with Lomachenko. So keep yourself together mentally with all that going on, with all the chaos stuff coming at you, and don't get discouraged. Don't get frustrated.
Max Kellerman consistently emphasizes that Shakur Stevenson doesn't just win fights, he neutralizes opponents. His footwork, distance control, and anticipation allow him to dictate the pace of every bout.
And who comes along, and I think this is really the question about him. I said he is one of those guys. Is he one of those guys? Like Pernell, like Roy, like Floyd, their defenses were so good, and they boxed in a way where they weren't going to take unnecessary risks, they weren't running and holding. You know, I had a problem with the second half of the Haney-Norman fight because I felt like they continue to box. Purnell did, Roy did, and Shakur does now, right? But when a guy has those advantages in boxing skill and speed, and they don't take risks, they are almost impossible to beat. So no matter who Purnell was fighting, no matter who Roy was fighting, if someone would have asked me who they're going to be, they're fighting Godzilla, Purnell. They're fighting Roy. Shakur has that look to me.
Kellerman acknowledged that both fighters are highly skilled but noted that Shakur Stevenson is not a knockout puncher. Instead, Stevenson wins through precision, defense, and complete control.
They're both twitchy. They're both fast. They're both excellent boxers. Teo's a puncher. I know it hasn't shown up in recent fights, but we have watched both of their careers. Shakur is not a puncher.
No.
Teo is.
Teo it can be an explosive, I hit you with a shot and you don't see, and you are out cold type puncher.
And talking about power, strength too. I think Teal's going to be the much stronger guy in there. Shakur Stevenson's not a strong guy.
I think he's getting stronger.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Definitely
But this is his first fight at 140 though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting
I
his
feel
strength.
like, but I also feel like that Shakur might surprise you, Mike, with his physical strength. Physical strength, as we all know, doesn't always translate to punching power.
Sure, of course not.
But when he was a younger fighter, he looked like he could be moved around by his opponent. It doesn't look like that anymore.
No, he's definitely matured in his body. But first fight at 140, Teo's what? I think this is maybe his fifth fight at 140?
Yeah.
Something like that?
That's true, but Shakur has.
According to Kellerman, Shakur Stevenson enters this fight with more to lose due to his technical reputation and undefeated record. Teofimo Lopez, on the other hand, has more to gain as the underdog, where lower pressure and higher opportunity make the fight dangerous and unpredictable. Stevenson has openly discussed how significant this contest is for him, framing it as a chance to prove he truly belongs among the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport.
Where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy. On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses...
Many experts view Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez as a fascinating tactical puzzle, where strategy, energy management, and timing could ultimately decide the outcome.
The fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass,
or a knockout by Teo.
yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. He's boxer first. So we could say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. Or he's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down or something may happen to where they hurt.